The comic I just read is Strange Tales number 117 from February of 1964, where the Human Torch faces off against the Eel once again. And it's the first time that Doctor Strange is mentioned on the cover of a comic book, also Baron Mordo. So our first feature is the Human Torch feature by Lee and illustrated by Dick Ayers. So the Eel is out of prison. Why is he out of prison, Johnny wondered? Well, Johnny, he was let go for good behavior, and he had served his sentence. So he's allowed to be out and dressed as the Eel. But of course, he has to go back to his evil shenanigans, working at the aquarium as the caretaker, which of course means that, like, you know, as we see later on, he can afford a helicopter of his own. So he's not going to give up his life of crime, is he? Of course not. So Johnny's like mystified. So Johnny figures out that he'll go after this ruby if that is planted in the newspaper. Sure enough, he does. And there's the helicopter that he had in waiting because, you know, I guess in the caretaker's salary, you can afford a helicopter in 1964. And what else do we have here? There's some laughing gas that Johnny gets caught up in. I'm really not a huge fan of the Dick Ayers art in this particular issue. Seems a little cartoony. We get a Blob advertisement. So Johnny does battle this slippery old eel. And he does come out on top. But the eel does get away. And then we go on to the Doctor Strange story, which fills the other half of the issue. It's the Many Traps of Baron Mordo by Lee and Ditko. So Baron Mordo creates a tiny replica of Doctor Strange's house and imprisons him through some trickery, because Doctor Strange uses his astral self to go to Mordo's home, and he gets trapped in this mystical bottle. But you know what? He figures a way out. And what Doctor Strange does is, there's no bottom. So he takes it all the way through the center of the earth and comes out the other side. So that's a little convenient. I think Supergirl did that once in the Legion. And he does defeat Mordo. So as you can see here, Doctor Strange takes up about half the book at this point in time. So he is graduating and being more integral in Marvel Comics.